Hello YouTube, Blue State Refugee here. Been gone for a little while because it was deer hunting season here in Kentucky, and I was quite busy with that pursuit. I was not successful in harvesting a deer. However, met some really nice people, had some very nice experiences, so I think all in all it was very rewarding. What you see before you is 3 pounds of just regular ground pork sausage and a link of andouille sausage. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the pork around the andouille sausage, and then we're going to wrap that all in a bacon matrix. And there's several ways to cook it. You can always do it in the oven. I have done it on a smoker, which was fabulous. But today we're going to do it on the Patio Bistro outdoor grill. It's an electric grill, I know. Don't chastise me too bad. But it's the only thing that's allowed where I live because of they have an open flame policy. So we have to make do with what we have. As always, improvise, adapt, and overcome. So, to that end, first thing we're going to do is we're going to set that andouille sausage aside a little bit. And we kind of want to meld these 3 pounds of pork together, and I lay them, end to end like that, and I just kind of like seam them. It's not real rocket science. You don't have to be super uber precise on doing this, but it's like anything else. If you don't strive for perfection, you'll never even reach mediocrity. So, well, as you notice, the length of that andouille is almost perfect for this particular dish. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip that over, and we're going to try to seam that on the side. And I just pat it together and pinch it and smooth it back. That's really all it takes. Now we go for the rolling. Now we want it in the center so that when we slice it, it's got nice presentation. So I just roll it and fold it over, and basically there we have it. That's about done. You can pinch the ends up, and if you wish, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that over, kind of hopefully stays in frame. I'm going to rinse my hands a little bit, because the next step I need some clean hands. And we are going to take our bacon matrix, as it were, which I've shown you how to do this in a previous video. I'll post a link below if you want to review that prior to. So the only thing we have to choose now is what we want to, how we want to season this. I'm going to go for more of a Cajun spiciness today. So I am going to find my, there it is. It is called Everglades Heat. Okay. We have a huge international market north of us up in Cincinnati called Jungle Gyms. And if you're not familiar with it, or if you've never been, you can spend a whole day there. Just on the hot sauces alone is probably a 40 by 40 square foot area. They have international foods from all over, and it's really a joy, and the produce is fabulous. So, to that end, you can also find this at, I believe, Everglades Seasoning has a website which you can purchase. I really like this. They make a fish and fowl that's very good, and their general one is more like a SPG, salt, pepper, garlic seasoning. It's very nice. So, we're going to season the inside of our bacon with our seasoning mix. And then all we're going to do is we're going to try to pick this up and put things, I pick things up and I put things down. And I did that this morning as well, before I stopped at the Kroger. Now the hard part is generally keeping this all together on that initial roll. And generally, if you can get it going, you're good to go. And I'm experiencing a small technical difficulty, but it's nothing we can't work through. Okay, I'm going to use my hip, bring that up just to stabilize it, and there we are. Now, I've secured this many different ways. I've tried toothpicks, and I've tried a couple other things, and I think the best thing that I found is by far butcher's twine. So, unfortunately, I don't have any. So we're going to use toothpicks, and that's not a real big deal, because I have a whole bunch here. And what I like to do is take and put them out, as many as I think I'm going to need, and try not to touch the rest with my pork hands. And we're going to go to town. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to pierce this. And really, from what I found, is the ends are more critical than the middle. Everything in the middle tends to stay together. So. And I like leaving them sticking out just a touch so that I can see them. Mrs. Blue State brought home the colored ones, which are, I think, add a very festive touch. And I'm going to roll that over, and we're going to continue this process. Now here's where we got to do a little work to reestablish the matrix. And put that right in there like that. So now I have my grill set at probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 325 degrees. I'm going to keep rotating this thing for probably 15 minutes on each side until I get the desired internal temperature that I'm looking for, because this is pork, so we want everything to be fully cooked all the way through. And then, to be honest with you, you could serve this warm, but I found that I like serving it a little bit at room temperature, and slice it. And you can eat it whichever way you want, because it's pork, and pork can't be a bad thing, right? So we'll put a couple here in the middle, and we'll pierce into the andouille in the center, and that'll help secure these toothpicks even a little bit better. But that's basically the gist of it. Now, if you want to go ahead and season the outside, you're more than welcome. I think with the pork being already seasoned and the bacon having its own smoky goodness and the andouille having its own flavor, that just that little bit of seasoning that I put on is going to be more than adequate to make this thing just absolutely fabulous. So I am going to stop the video, and we'll come back. Maybe we'll shoot some footage of me rolling it on the grill and things of that nature, getting it nice and golden brown and delicious. But we'll be back when this thing is done. Hello, YouTube. We're back again, about 45 minutes into the cooking process, and we're going to give you a little sneak peek of what we got going on. I try not to keep lifting the lid as much as possible. As you can see, it looks like the grill's hovering somewhere in the 360 range. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but it's better than nothing. So we're going to just lift the lid here and give you a sneak peek, and well, there it is. Look at that. That looks really, really awesome. So by the looks of it, I'm hoping that it tastes just half as good as it looks. All right, so let me close this lid back down, and we'll pause this for a little bit, and we'll come back after we've got it off the grill and have let it rest, which is generally the most difficult part. All right, we'll be back. Hello, YouTube. We're back. Cooking time was 70 minutes. And then we've let it rest now for almost an hour. And save that for some. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slice it and serve it. And you can refrigerate this if you'd like, and slice it and put it on sandwiches. It's very good. Dress it up with a little onion and some tomato and lettuce. I want you to know that my chocolate lab, Moose, has been bird dogging this thing for the last hour. So if it has his approval, I guess it's going to be good for me. So what I like to do now is I like to just slice this nice and thin after I get the end piece off. Making sure we get the toothpicks out. And I went through it and I found most of them. Apparently didn't get them all, but that's okay. So, as I said, thin slices. And you can see the chorizo sausage in there. And boy, does that look good, and it smells delicious. The bacon is nice and crispy. The meat is done through and through. And I hope you try this. Give it a whirl at your next party, whether it be a Super Bowl, a birthday party. As I said earlier, I have done this particular dish in a smoker, and it was unbelievably good. Matter of fact, I think the smoking is the way to go for this particular dish, but it's still good nonetheless, and that looks delicious. So if you found this of value, please like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Blue State Refugee, and remember, it's important to think free and act free to truly be free. Long live the Republic.